Do you remember the first time your man saw you naked?
Holy Mary, mother!
Again?
Yeah. Do you remember the last time?
I may be late for my thing. Can we switch places?
Don't even think about it. How the hell do you get it back? Hey.
Holy shit.
I just had an idea.
Let's film ourselves having sex.
That's a great idea. This is your best idea ever.
You know about sex, Martin. I know it's been a long time since you had it, but you know.
I do know about it.
But you do know
I've read
about
the
it.
history books.
You've read the books. You've seen the pictures. And, Martin, you might even know that some people out there, they like to film themselves in the act of copulation. Big thing today with the internet. You know, look at this. This streaming video right here. People do this stuff all the time, except they actually have sex on film, on tape, on camera, on video.
You've done this.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll talk about that. You know what? Fine. You put it out there. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
I only say it's not me going like, nah, you did this. It's just that you've done this, and I was curious as to, like, why or what you do with the tape or.
You know what, Martin? You know, let's put it out there. Yeah, I made a sex tape, or 2, 3, maybe 4. I hope. You know, I hope there's no others out there, because if there are, I don't know where they are. You're gonna be seeing me making my debut on the internet, my ass cheeks on on the interwebs. But Martin, I know a thing or two about sex tapes.
Yeah.
So when I look at this movie, I know what I'm talking about. Now, we're talking about this film starring Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel, who loves to show that ass all the time.
Both of them.
Both of them. And Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz, you know, Cameron Diaz is in her 40s now. She's about 41, 42. So she's at that point now. She plays, you know, not only a wife, but a mom.
But a mother,
yeah. And, you know, you've heard this before. You get married and you think everything's going to be cool at first. And then as kids come along and you start to know each other and you see each other every day, you probably see your wife taking a shit sometime or something. It gets to a point where you just don't have as much sex anymore. But then one day these guys, they say, you know what? We got the kids at grandma's house. You know what we need to do to break
We haven't had sex in a long time.
We haven't had sex in a long ass time. Dick is bone dry. They say, you know what? We should make a sex tape. And they do it. But here's the thing, Martin. They're not me. I know what I was doing. I know what I was doing when I was making that sex tape.
Well, you actually use tape instead of like putting it on a computer and then download it to the internet.
See, that's the thing. Today, when you have the cloud and synchronization between computers, and when you record one thing on one machine, it's recorded, you know, the MP4 is on every other machine. I can understand. It's easy to lose it and get stuff out there. That's why you got to be careful. And these guys, they're not. Turns out that it's out there. And fortunately for them, it's on iPads that they've given to people. So they have this one night where they got to go out and try to find every person that they've given iPads to and get that back before they discover the sex tape and either watch it or, even worse, release it to the world.
Right.
And that's funny that this movie's called Sex Tape, because ain't no fucking tape in here anywhere.
You're so right about that.
You know,
wow. My head was so filled with everything else about this movie that was wrong that I didn't even consider that.
You know,
there's no actual tape.
Was sex video that hard to remember that you had to use sex tape? Ain't nobody used tape in 10 years, man. And this shit is called sex tape. Ain't no fucking tape in this movie.
No, there's not.
But I tell you, man, it's like that movie. It's like that movie called Troll. Ain't no Troll. Troll 2.
Right.
Ain't no troll in that movie. Right. All goblins.
Yeah.
This is the Troll 2 of sex tape movies. I mean, it's stupid.
This is one of those movies where it only knows how to propel itself by having its characters too stupid to do anything a normal human being would do.
That they deserve every fucking thing they get in here, because everything that they do, the movie even says, every time they try to cover their tracks, someone is always there to tell them, well, why
didn't you just do this?
Why didn't you just do this? You could have, easily sent an email, or you could have easily just pressed a button.
And it's kind of a cheap writer's trick, where you do something stupid or crazy in your movie and you have some character remark on it, so lets the audience know, like, oh yeah, we know. But it happens over and over to the point where it's like, look, if y'all knew, this shouldn't even have been in here.
And it's the worst thing about it is, with the characters this dumb, when you're sitting up there and the movie still has like 45 minutes to go, and you sit up there and you say, man, you almost yell at the screen, just do this. Just send an email. just send an email. And then at the end of the movie, somebody comes out and says, could have just sent an email. You're like, you know, it's like, you get frustrated with these people.
You really do. Plus, it's like watching. They go through the kind of machinations you see on I Love Lucy, or not even Hogan's Heroes. That was actually kind of intellectual. But just some really farcical sitcom from the 50s where it's like, y'all, come on, it don't require all this. Go to people. If at the very least, go to people and say like, hey, I gave you this. I have some sensitive information. My social security number is on an iPad. Can I just see it for a minute, and so I can erase it?
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh yeah, sure, here you go.
Yeah, that's the thing about the movie, man.
It's not really the thing about the movie.
No, well,
it's a big thing about the movie, but it's not.
It's a big thing. No, it's several things about the movie.
Yeah.
For one, at the beginning of the film, like I said, these people apparently not having sex, it just made them stupid about sex. It has made them virgins again.
Yeah.
They really don't know how to have sex anymore. I'm talking about not only do they not know how to have sex, but they don't even know how to do foreplay.
They don't even. I mean, honestly, like if I could explain this to you guys, the first 15 minutes just shows you how much when they were younger, or at least when they were had CGI making them smooth. All those years they fucked all the time. Now they had 2 kids. They can't even remember how to kiss again.
And the kids even like, damn, Mom, I don't even know how to do that. You know?
Yeah.
Shit, I know how to fuck better than y'all do, and I'm 10 years old.
It's like everything it wanted to try to prove, it went too far. It did things where you go like, I don't believe that. I'm sorry. You know what? Jason Segel,
yeah,
he's lost a lot of weight so he could look good naked, and yet you see him with Cameron Diaz and you go, that's science fiction. No fucking way. I don't care if she's 40 and he might even be younger than her. You look at the two of them together, you like, nah, I ain't buying that.
Well, you know what, man? What, them being together, just being together, period?
I mean, she's like hotter than she's been since she was in The Mask. And you're just like, I'm sorry, there's no way she'd marry you.
I'm gonna tell you something. No,
I ain't buying this shit for 2 seconds.
Not 1 minute. And plus,
I want to suspend my disbelief, but you got to meet me halfway.
And plus, he's just a goofy fuck.
He is.
And you know, and in the beginning of the movie, that's what's wrong with it. They set up the tone of the film right at the beginning. The tone being that they don't know how to do anything subtle in here. I mean, I know that this is a wild sex comedy, but there are things that it gets insulting to a certain point when you exaggerate this much. There's a point where when they're kissing each other, when they're trying to get into the mood to get back into having sex, and they're kissing each other like turtles, man.
Yeah.
There's a moment that they're just kissing, and they're kissing like this. And they got the lips over their teeth, and I'm like, you know what? No matter how long you haven't had sex, you know how to fucking kiss.
Exactly.
You know how to kiss.
Exactly. Like if you guys haven't even been kissing this whole time, you got divorced.
Yeah. And then when they get back into having sex, I mean, kids who are virgins, who are about to have sex for the first time, don't act this fucking stupid.
Hey.
Hey, babe.
I mean, that's pretty hot,
Where are
you
the
gotta
kids?
say.
Oh, yeah.
Mom's.
Oh, they are? I thought that we were going to go down to... Wow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, hi. Wow. Look at you.
Too much.
No, it's great.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Yes. The kids, how long are they?
Sleeping over.
Yes!
Because I was thinking that maybe we could celebrate. Just the 2 of us.
I get it.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This is like the best idea you've ever had.
I came
you
already.
Look amazing. Do you own these underwear? Mm-hmm. Because I've never seen those before.
Come on.
This is so exciting. I'm so excited right now.
Like, God damn, man, settle down. And the thing is, Martin, like, even if she was ready to have sex, a guy behaving like that, don't you think that would just kill the mood after that? She'd be like, you know what, fuck it, forget about
Well,
it.
she hadn't had it for a long time. That's why she's putting up with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like your normal inclination would just be to like just rip all that shit off of her right there.
Of course.
That scene actually typifies like what my biggest problem with this whole movie is.
And what would that be?
That would be that through this movie, through most of his movies, like Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
You're talking about Jason Segel?
Jason Segel, yeah. And the 5-Year Engagement. Jason Segel, he's just kind of terrible. He's just kind of not funny. He ad-libs and it kind of go nowhere. He's pretty much the same character and everything. And here, I don't know if it's because he's hungry, because he's trying to be in shape, but his eyes just look vacant the whole time. And most of his dialogue is just kind of aspirated and just kind of yelly. Cameron Diaz is carrying this movie. Like, she's actually good. It's hard to see it because the movie's so bad, but she's really doing the lion's share of the work.
Yeah, well, you know what? Some of the comedy in here is so bad.
Oh, it is.
That I don't even think that she can save this film.
No, she can't save it. I
don't think that. I think the writing is so bad that she's not even that good in it.
But that's the thing. Like, even with this and any other woman, I look at her performance and I go like, you know what? She's actually like bringing this character, as poorly written as it is, she's making it seem like a person and not her. And where was it with him? I'm just like, dude, you got no range. I feel your eyes are all over the place. You can't focus. This is taking me out of it.
I don't mind Jason Segel, man. I mean, Jason Segel, I think he can be funny sometimes, and then sometimes when you put him in material like this, I think he's horrible. And on top of that, you have other funny people in here that this movie just makes them awful. Rob Corddry
he
right here.
almost saved it. When he first comes in, I was like, oh, good, they got him. He knows how to do this. But there's a point where it's just like, he's like, there's only so much I can do.
Look, he's even doing that right now. He's like, shit, man, what do you want me to do? I can only do so much. Look at me like, man, I can't carry the whole fucking movie. And Rob Lowe, who's funny these days.
Yeah.
The problem with having characters like this, or not even characters, with having talented, funny actors like this in a movie is that you are straight up putting them in sitcom situations.
Yeah.
And when I say sitcom, I'm talking about, like you said, Martin, straight up, I Love Lucy, the Honeymooners type shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a point in here where they had to get their iPod back from Rob Lowe, and they actually go to the door and they're doing this thing where anybody would have thought up a plan before they get there, but they had to make it funny. They had to do that thing where, we got to think of something on the spot so we can think of the dumbest thing that we can do. Rob Lowe answers the door, and by the way, Rob Lowe, and they got to get this iPad for him because he's an executive that's going to give Cameron Diaz his big job, and he wants her to have this pure image. So when they answer the door, they do that thing of like, oh, hey, Cameron Diaz, what are you doing in the neighborhood? You're like, oh, yeah, we're here because we are collecting money for donations. Donations for what? Here comes Jason Segel. Oh, for kidneys, and he does his fake ass British accent. Oh yeah, we're looking for kidneys. I'm like, man, y'all just making this shit up on the spot.
Making this shit up on the spot.
And y'all think we bad making this shit up on the spot? It's worse when you see it in the movie.
It is. They make it up on the spot, and I'm sure once cut was yelled, they all clapped and gave each other a high five. And what a great job
awesome,
they did.
man.
And then they have Rob Corddry and Ellie Kemper come up and do the exact same bit just a little bit later.
And Rob Lowe has to ad lib funny shit. Sometimes, listen, these are, like I said, these are talented people, but a lot of times your actors, no matter how well they can ad lib or improvise, they can only do so much with stupid ass material.
Exactly.
And that's all they're working with
and
here.
that whole Rob Lowe plot, you notice how important it was in the beginning and then just disappeared completely?
You know what?
No resolution.
And that's another thing. It's one of those situations where, well, to make it funny, we're just going to get this and make it as exaggerated and ridiculous and over the top as we can. The whole thing ends up turning into some big slapstick comedy of Jason Segel being run down by a dog.
Yeah.
Where every now and then you get to see that dog turn to a dummy and get flung into a wall, which actually was kind of funny. There was one scene where they threw a dog dummy into a wall in slow motion, and I did laugh at that shit, man. But
but none of it really made sense. And the thing is, it's weird that they would be dropping subplots when this movie, it's barely 90 minutes and it doesn't have enough material to sustain that 90 minutes. It's got about an hour's worth of material, and then they're just tap dancing for that other 30 minutes.
Look, I'm glad to hear that, Martin, because I thought, you know what, maybe it's just me. I made so many sex tapes. Maybe I'm just looking too hard into this. Maybe
you're too critical.
Maybe I'm too critical.
That's not the way to do this.
No, I said, yeah, exactly.
I've been in the situation. You would never handle it that way.
Like when a chef goes to see a movie about cooking, he's like, oh, nobody would ever prepare food like that. Oh, nobody would ever fuck like that. No, man. But I'm telling you, there are a few chuckles in there because I did catch myself laughing.
Yeah, I know. I had two or three chuckles. I will give it that. And I appreciated how much Cameron Diaz was almost nude through so much of it. But it's not really enough to sustain it.
No. And you know what? The funny thing is that there goes that fucking dog right there. That shit was funny. Hey, look at it. You see that shit? That damn fake ass dog.
I know, man. But then it's undercut by him standing over the dog. You're just like screaming in your head, like, get the fuck out of there.
That shit was funny right there. Look at that. You had 2 grips. Take that dog and throw him up against. But here's the thing, man. As hot as Cameron Diaz is in this movie, these 2 fuckers in here was so annoying.
I know.
That it didn't take but 5 seconds for my dick to get soft.
I know.
I mean, it went down. Like,
Well,
you could actually hear it hit the floor. Boom.
Well, every time, you know, she does a nude from the back, side boob shot, you're like, yeah. And then Jason Segel brings his white ass crack right into the middle of the screen, too.
Man, there are moments in this movie where Cameron Diaz brings her ass right there. Mm-hmm. Brings her ass right in front of the screen. And right when you getting excited, right when you like, oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna do tonight. Here comes yeah. No, it ain't even put his like plah, plah, kaboom, kaboom. Here comes Jason Segel with his ass up in the screen, man. There's even one point in the movie, Jason Segel, he's so proud of getting naked in the movie, man. There's even one point where you almost see his asshole.
I know.
He loves to put that dick in that ass crack up in the screen.
Well, and like I said, one of the reasons I think he's so terrible, because so much of his comedy relies on either showing himself naked in all his movies, and also just having characters say really vulgar, sexual, inappropriate things.
Yeah.
And like that shock value. It's like, man, that gets old really quickly.
It gets old real fast.
It's lazy.
And the last thing I have to say right here is that this sex tape that they're beating themselves over to go out and find, they shouldn't have to worry about it. They have some of the most unsexy sex you've ever seen. That sex would not turn on anybody. People look at that and be like, you know what? I didn't even know that was y'all because I turned that shit off as soon as I turned it on.
Oh, right?
I want to see this shit y'all doing crazy shit and look at he's so proud of that body. Like it's like they do all this kind of shit where limbs are folding over people's heads.
Yeah.
I mean, even that's exaggerated. It's like no one has sex like that.
Nobody has sex like that.
Maybe octopus. Maybe they have sex like that, but no human being.
Right.
Does.
Like the one thing they did that I thought was funny and realistic when they're like, come on, let's have sex on the kitchen floor, and it's like, this hurts. You want to like get up? It's like, yeah. I was like, okay, that's. But the rest of that.
Oh, you know what? Before I go, before we finish up, this does something else. They just said fuck it. You know that whole thing with white parents and their kids.
Yeah.
They just said, you know what? Fuck it in this world. You know what? The kids in this movie, it's like they don't even have parents. It's like they go in and they just pretty much tell. Kids right now in this movie, I mean, I don't know if this is how it is in real life, but in this movie, kids don't even like look at their parents and say, you know what, fuck you, dad, fuck you, mom. No, they say that to the neighbors now.
Right.
And the neighbors act like friend. Hey, you know, Jason Segel, they don't even call him Mr. Segel or anything. You know, it's like, hey, fucking Jason. You know, that's the kid next door. Mm-hmm. Hey, fuck you, man. And Jason Segel like, hey, fuck you too. I'm like, wow, this the world we living in today? Seriously? I mean, white kids are going out there. They're going wild, man. But, you know.
Yeah. And also, you know what? It pulls the Hangover move where, you had the mysterious, pictures of the tape. But at the end, well, let's go ahead and show it to you. And it's like, it was better off not seeing it.
I was better off not seeing it. Not even a funny hangover kind of way. It's just like, you know what? However thought, Cameron Diaz, you have to make another movie and show your ass because this has turned me off from you. I mean, you got a nice body and everything, but I'm sickened by looking at you right now. You fucking Jason Segel. Who wants to see that shit?
I know. Nobody.
Who wants to see that shit?
Nobody.
Yeah, I
even when they make jokes about it, you like, you goddamn right.
Yeah, who? Girl, come on. You can have any leading man out there and Jason Segel? Jason Segel should be fucking Muppets.
Well, you do remember like that one movie where she was, hooked up with Jack Black.
No, I don't.
You didn't see it? I think it was Celebration or something like that.
It's better I don't see that shit. In fact, it would have been more believable with her fucking Jack Black.
I know.
Instead of her fucking Jason Segel.
At least he's funny.
Yeah, at least
you can kind of get it.
Yeah. Jason Segel all awkward and shit. Hey, everybody, making a sex tape. What is it, some Ray Harryhausen shit you doing? What the fuck? But
what are we doing?
Yeah. I like how Even their daughter's freaking. They got a 5-year-old daughter who's on her way to being a porn star. They have a scene here with in this movie where that 5-year-old daughter likes to stick her finger in her ass and touch people. I'm like, this just runs in the family.
Yeah, and that whole thing, it's like, that led to nothing.
That led to nothing.
It was just a joke. They were on the set. Hey, let's try this.
Hey, it'd be funny?
Yeah.
5-year-old kid sticks her finger in her ass and rubs it on something. Get the fuck out of here.
Improv is not for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm telling y'all, I know you want to just improv these movies to get them done quickly, but please sit down and write something.
This movie stuck his finger up his ass and tried to wipe itself on me. This is this is bullshit, man. It's straight up bullshit. Even the few chuckles that I had in there, not enough.
You know what? That's the thing I thought too. I was like, well, I got some chuckles, which would normally not make this movie bullshit. But everything else was just like, yeah, it's reached that point where it has annoyed me. I mean, with a movie like this, considering subject matter, you almost want to say, fuck this movie. But yeah, it's just some bullshit.
It's some straight up bullshit, man. Yeah, fuck.
Too bad, too. Because when I saw the trailer, I thought, I don't know if it's funny, but it's got potential.
I got to tell you, I was annoyed by that trailer, man. Seriously.
I could totally see that. And I was like, hey, I wasn't like, I saw the trailer and I'm sold. I'm like, this looks bad, but it could turn around.
Yeah, Jason Segel looking at us. Would you give my movie? Fuck you. Gave you a movie. Better be glad to give it that.
And eat a goddamn sandwich.
Yeah, eat a dick. That's what you do. Son of a bitch. I don't care how mad you look right now. Can't believe y'all gave my movie bullshit. Yeah, fuck
Big
you.
Herman Munster
looking I like Jason Segel, man. I do.
Why?
I do. I don't know, man. I think he's a likable guy. I do.
I do not.
I know you don't. I know you never liked this dude. I kind of see why now, but man.
And I was really with this. I was kind of like, hey, man, I'm putting those old prejudices behind me. Let him do his thing. And I was like, nah, fuck this guy.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I like you, Jason Segel, but tonight I'm gonna pull a Martin. Fuck you. Don't need you.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Totally forgot to mention how Sex Tape was way too much of a commercial for Apple products.
Oh, you know what? We did forget to mention that. Man, they straight up advertise the iPad in this. There's a part where they throw an iPad out the window and Jason Segel pretty much looks at the screen. Man, these things are sure rugged.
Yeah, they're really durable.
They're really durable, yeah.
And like, oh yeah, I'd like to just give iPads away. It's like, what job does he have where he can just afford to give iPads away? But give these iPads away because I can put my playlist on one and sync it with all the others.
And he's like, and man, when people get an iPad, they just say, wow, man, this is awesome. This is cool. Thank you. But he had to say, wow, these are great. They have a much higher resolution retina screen than the other iPads. And if you look at it, there's more sensitivity. And I'm like, come on, man. That ain't a fucking commercial.
Exactly. This shit was shameless.
He might as well just had a blue shirt with an Apple symbol on it.
There might as well been a little Apple symbol in the corner of the screen.
Yeah, he might as well had a black turtleneck on and some glasses.
Siri, how do you perform CPR on a dog?